gentlemen, we're looking to be back in game number 3. Starting over here at the bottom left side of GSL and Tomb Valley, we're going to have the yellow Zerg from FXO Gaming. It is going to be Lowly. And then his opponent over here at the top right side of the map, representing Mouse Gaming, we're going to have the green Protoss Mana. So here we go. Yeah, just kind of working on some of my obsing and cool little skills like that. You know, why not? Might as well, if you're going to be a one-man solo production, make it look cool as can be, right? So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 3 getting started right now on GSL and Tomb Valley. It is going to be another PvZ in the second series between Mana and Lowly. As we see, it's most likely going to be a Forge Fast expand for Mana if I know him. I wonder if Lowly this game is going to be planning to do the same type of thing as he did last game. This is actually kind of a little bit of an upset today because, I mean, Lowly is a great and very strong player, but again, not a lot of people would consider him a favorite against a player of Mana's caliber, so already taken 2 games off of him. It's a little bit of a shocker even to myself, and this is something actually really cute. Mana going to be going for, looking to be maybe a Forge Fast expand, but going with inside the base, Forge just in case, you know, maybe he knows Lowly some kind of 6 pull or some sort of quick aggression, and you know what, he's actually completely correct. He knows Lowly from the inside out, probably just due to EU ladder and tournaments and online cups, and as we see an early pull coming down from Lowly, so early aggression, and yeah, he'll definitely need that cannon in place to deal with that. Now, we take a look and see, I mean, again, if he does hold this due to the early aggression, I mean, again, it's not too much of an investment for Lowly to pop out a couple lings and then take the hatch. Should be able to transition normally, but he does have a big opportunity in front of him where he could actually put on a lot of pressure on the Protoss player and force a cancel of the Nexus, and then go from there. So if we take a look and see right now, Mana, I mean, you just got to be aware and know what exactly what's going on. Finally bringing that probe in here, he's going to check out, see what's going on. There we go, sees that natural hatch. And then, there we go, come on in there, already a couple lings out in place, so he needs to get that cannon up right away, if he possibly can. He throws down the cannon. While he was focusing on that, was not able to save that probe that was caught within the trees, man. Caught between a tree and another tree. Not rocking a hard place, man. Sad day for that probe. Hopefully, you know, his brothers will be able to... Hopefully his scouting was not in vain. Hopefully Mana got the information he needed. So here we go. Cannon is going to be in place. Of course, these 2 links are not going to be able to do anything as they're going to be able to get pot-shotted right away if in fact that happens. At this point, Lowly just trying to position Overlords as well into place to be able to scout in the later portions of the game. I mean, there comes a time and point where, I mean, PvZ at this point of the game is very, very, very boring, especially if you play at a high level and watch tournaments. This is one of those things that just kind of just drives you a little bit nuts because there's not a lot of entertainment. You understand that both the players are trying to build up an economy, as we see. I mean, Mana trying to get the wall off on his Forge Fast expand, and I mean, there's not much more you could really say about it. Now, let's go back into a little bit of the IPL 5 story. So again, for those who don't know, I went to IPL 5, went there as a media member to do interviews and blah 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 for Team Empire, just more of the media than anything else. The trip started off amazing, guys. I'll tell you what, man. The trip started off absolutely amazing. I live in Colorado Springs. We're supposed to grab a flight at 6 o'clock out of Denver DIA Airport. For those who don't know, Denver International Airport. We come there. We have both of us have checked bags. Me and the person that I was flying with. And unfortunately, because we show up there like 42 minutes before our flight, or 41 minutes before our flight, and to have checked bags, you have to show up to your flight 45 minutes before, and we're like, oh my god, really, you're going to be that technical? So the next best flight we could find was actually 3 hours later, so we flew out of here like at 9 at night. For those that are on a military schedule, that's 21 o'clock at night, so, oh, Lowly the lagger. Yeah, so we flew out really late, got in there, missed all of Thursday's action, unfortunately. But again, because it's Vegas, we were able to still have fun, or have some fun from it. So, yeah, that was kind of like the really lame Friday. We show up really late. I mean, at that point, if you show up for Friday really late, you're either going to be most likely drinking or going to bed early. If you're a player, you're probably going to bed early. If you're like a staff or media person, everybody's just kind of hanging around, drinking, mingling, and hanging around. So, it was a pretty good experience. Now, Saturday was a completely different story. I mean, not Saturday, Friday was a completely different story. We did get up a little bit late to get started, and of course, once you know it, the microphone for the camera was broken, so no interviews in the morning. Did want to watch a couple of the matches, and we of course had to go run and get a mic before the the GSL semifinals and the World Championships. So did that, missed even more matches, but eventually got to hang out with some players. Got a wonderful interview from Root Leah, or Root Puck if you guys know him a little bit better. That way, at least like I do. So got a wonderful interview. If you guys haven't checked it out, do go to youtube.com/cheeseheadlogic. I got also several interviews. Like I'll break it down. The whole interview thing was, I got about 5 to 6 interviews, if I'm not mistaken. It wasn't before Saturday, mid to late Saturday, where our second microphone broke, and at that point we just and we didn't know about it until about Sunday morning that the microphone re-broke again. So a lot of the interviews were just kind of cut off that were taken. So only about 5 to 6 good ones. A beautiful interview with Slivko, really on the inside of a player that we don't see a lot on social media. You don't see a lot of these tournaments or really in person. So if you guys get a chance, do go check it out. As well as if you guys are into cosplay, girls, Jessica Negri, got a beautiful interview with her. Oh, she's beautiful. Got a wonderful interview with her. So jaw was a little bit dropped when I met her for the first time. So she's absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, that one's actually not uploaded at the moment. I'm trying to get that one up. So taking a look and see, Mana's going to be going with this Warp Prism Harass. As we take a look and see, something we saw similar to last game. It looks to be actually a 1-2 base. It's a Blink. No, he actually hasn't got anything from the Twilight Council. Going to be going for this third base right now, and this is actually beautiful timing by Mana. Waited for this third base to finish up, and all he has to do is just continually throw force fields, and I mean, can't really do too much about it. And good macro right now, able to lift off a lot of these units. Infestors are trying to drop their Infestitarians, but again, already the damage has been done. Third hatch gets taken out, and that's exactly what Mana wanted to do. He doesn't even care about these Zealots. He's just going to try to put them in a choke and just do additional damage to all these Lings that are in place, make Lowly lose additional units. So that's a big loss for him, because now that evens up the bases, and I mean, this sets up Mana for any sort of 2-base all-in, or even a third base if he wanted to take one himself. Now, if anything, the better news for Lowly, he does have Infestors out, so he's going to be able to do Fungos, he's going to be able to get Infestitarians out on the map, but I feel as though with an even economy and heavier units in the mid to early game for the Protoss, he might be able to take advantage of that and be able to put on a little bit of pressure. But from what it seems like, he just wants to kill that Overlord and take a third base, but that's going to take a little bit longer just due to the creep trying to dissipate that's been placed already in here. And again, if you guys are loving my casting, do please follow the Twitch TV channel, twitch.tv/cheeseheadlogic, if you guys are watching on the Team Liquid stream. I do apologize if anything is really shaky or if I'm being repetitive or enunciating a little bit awkwardly. It's just because I've had 4 hours of sleep. I'm a little bit drowsy, but I mean, we're hanging in there. We've got great games today, great players, so nothing really to complain about at all. Lowly trying to retake the third base as well right now. I'm worried because right now, just due to the lack of the economy and due to lack of units, even though he has Fungals and he has Infestors out on the map, it could be a little bit of a problem right now for Lowly, because Mana could hit this mid, I would say 16-17 minute timing attack with Colossus, Immortal, Stalker, Sentry, and with that composition before he even has to go into Mothership, Templar, or Archon. So he has that opportunity because Lowly doesn't have that economy for himself in place, or hasn't been able to mine from his third peacefully for a really long time. Now what we're looking and seeing right now over here in the main base, take a look and see the hive is getting finished up, the spire is underway, so Lowly timing this out as best as possible. That way when the hive finishes, he's going to be able to start up with his greater spires. We take a look and see 2 melee upgrades as well as 2 carapaces underway. Take a look and see, I mean, just very. It looks good. It looks okay for Lowly, but the fact is, if he's sitting at 13 minutes, 14 minutes on 3 base or just got his third base up, he's going to be in a little bit of a. He's going to have a little bit of a lackluster economy, a little bit of a lackluster composition coming within that time frame that you would typically see more Broodlords, more Infestors, and the big Heart of the Swarm army. Now here we go. This is what we're talking about right now. He's got quite a bit of Colossus, and I feel right now Mana is going to be thinking about doing some kind of attack really soon. Good warp in right there by Mana to try to prevent any additional scouting getting done. Now, what did Lowly see? Okay, so he did see the Colossus was out. So, but I mean, again, Corruptors are already underway, so no big surprise. The only thing is with Guardian Shield and Force Fields and just an additional amount of Colossus, I'm not sure if Lowly's going to be able to handle this. Though I do like the concept behind what he's about to do. He's got 2 Overlords full of Speedlings that are about to have even their Adrenal finish up. So 2-2 and Adrenal's going to finish up soon. So they're going to be able to do quite a bit of damage. As we see, one's dropping right in front of the Robotics Beta to be able to hack that down, and one's heading right into the Mineral line in the main. So very smart play by Mana, because he's going to force warp it. I mean, by Lowly, he's going to force Mana's warp ins to come back over at his main. Now this is actually really cute. This is something we see more of a Demaga-esque style. Oh no, the Warp Prism is going to get taken down right away. No. So this is a little bit of a Demaga-esque style where he wants to take Banelings, but this is a little bit of a problem. Beautiful force fields, and a lot of these Corruptors took a good amount of damage. Now, defenses back at the main are not really in place. He's trying to warp in additional Zealots. He did probe trick his way down back into the main, so I don't think he lost too many workers. Didn't he actually even lose the robotics base? So not too bad of a deal. Oh, and even able to snipe off all these Overlords that were within the base. So I think at this point, Monolord is going to try to get the rest of his army kind of together. This probe actually jamming the rest of these Stalkers. Anyway, that's kind of funny to watch. But yeah, Lowly again sitting on barely a 4-base economy, at least a 4-base gas economy. Not really a 4-base. Not exactly a 4-base mineral economy. I mean, not exactly a 4-base mineral economy. As we take a look and see, Lowly does have a good amount of Broodlords. He does still have the Baneling drops for him to utilize as well, and he's going to probably continually add additional Banelings that he could drop on. Now, with good force fields and good micro, it might not work out too well for Lowly. He's got to be very careful because right now he's got a supply block as well. Now, good plan to try to go for a little bit of a counterattack, but already in position where some defenses at home. So at this point, what Lowly's most likely going to do, bring these Lings back. He's going to do a flank, going to attack with the Broodlords, going to bring the Infestors as well as the Baneling drops on top of all the Stalkers. So here we go, one Fungal getting thrown down. If a second Fungal does get dropped, he should be able to throw down all the Banelings on top of everything. Either way, at the moment, Lowly just blowing through a lot of Mana's army, and all these Stalkers, all these Colossus Sentries, and just all these gas-heavy units are starting to fall apart. And I don't know exactly what Mana can transition to, as we see 56 additional Lings are coming by. War Prism with a pack of Stalkers, but you know, he's going to need a transition into Mothership. He's going to need Templars. He's going to need Storm. He's going to need Archon, some of the really heavy hitter units for Protoss, if not at least Carrier or something like that, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen for him. At this point, Mana's really in dire straits and really up against the wall to be able to handle what Lowly's bringing to him. And I mean, with the additional Link support and still Banelings for himself to utilize, I don't think that Mana's going to be able to grab a fourth base. Kind of like it was a little bit of the struggle he had in game number 2 on Ohana. He was just never able to really grab that fourth base, unfortunately. As we take a look and see, Lowly doing a good job tracking down the War Prism, following the War Prism at the moment. There's a little bit of a Zealot warping, but it's not going to be able to do too much overall. 5th base getting taken, and now Corruptors should be able to hunt down and snipe down the War Prism, and that kind of locks Mana up for a little bit more time. Now, if anything, that's good. Mana does have a lot of minerals. What he could utilize that with that in additional gates, get his Nexus up, and as well as do more Zealot harass. If I would have, I would almost want to see additional War Prisms, and there we go. He's actually adding even more because he's probably going to lose this one. But additional War Prism harass. Somebody like Sunlight. For those who don't know, Stardust, a former Kessel player who just got picked up by Light a couple of months ago. Does a really good job as a Protoss player in late game harass. He uses multiple War Prisms. He uses actually brings a whole entire army, attacks the base, and then recalls it as he's engaging. Just stuff like that. Really interesting, neat harass techniques that a lot more Protoss should utilize to keep themselves in the game or force a little bit of a late game. So at this point, Mana is trying to go for the standard composition. I just feel the standard composition for himself is coming a little bit too late. I would have thought the economy of Lowly would have kept him a little bit behind, would have opened up maybe a timing push opportunity for Mana, but it looks to be the same story. Lowly almost completely maxed out, has Corruptors and Broodlords, so those are going to be able to take out this fourth base with ease. And as we take a look and see, oh my god, the Adrenals is doing so much damage, and there's no way right now for Mana to get over there. All Lowly really has to do is actually just focus down this Nexus, but he's not. He's actually everything on A move, and could have, with 76 health, could have been able to pick off this Nexus, and that would have absolutely crippled Mana to death. And he would, I mean, at this point, Mana, if I know him last game, he's got to be just about ready to tap out again. He knows there's nothing really that he could do this game. He's sitting at 143 supply, doesn't have a mothership, getting additional zealots with charge. Now, these are going to be more for harass than anything else as we take a look and see, trying to hack away at the fourth base. But the speedlings with Adrenal are just doing so much damage, and I think they're 3-3 now as well, so indeed they are. So cleared out zealots, big ball, beautiful Zerg ball army ready in place with Ultralisks as well. I mean, what can you do? Chidi's plating upgrade is done. There's nothing that you could really do. So as long as Lowly's plays this very careful, has defenses ready, and keeps all of his units together, he should be in a good position to do some damage. And as we take a look and see, he's sending the Overlord somewhere with the Banelings. Yep, just creeping away. So I don't know, I'm waiting for him to actually use some of these Banelings at the moment. They're kind of a little bit of wasted supply. I guarantee he hasn't forgot about them, but if he doesn't utilize them or try to actually drop with them, it might be a little bit of a waste of energy. I mean, a waste of Overlord, waste of Baneling, waste of gas. So, meh. It is what it is. If anything more noteworthy right now, the Zerg right now, Lowly has an amazing mineral economy, amazing gas economy, so you will be able to max out in a moment's blink. Additional Banelings are getting more, so they're going to help out, trying to take on all the units of Mana. At the moment, let's see what Mana does have. He does have some High Templars. He does have a couple of Archons, including a lot of Charge Lots, Stalkers, and a couple of Colossus. Now, the problem right now, there's a lot of Broodlords. There's Corruptors, if controlled carefully, of course. Infestatorans are getting dropped right now. Again, putting pressure onto this fourth base as well. This is the new patch, so again, Infestatoran health has gone down from 100 to 70. The fungal casting range has gone down from 9 to 8, so we'll see how that affects. Now, big engagement coming up, and I feel maybe Lowly is lagging away. Now, finally bringing in all these Overlords, and he's going to try to drop the Banelings, and there we go, finally does. Getting some really nice hits off at the moment. We'll lose the Archon, we'll lose some of these units on the inside, and there we go. Basically, all Stalkers are left. Of course, Ultralisks, Broodlords, and additional Link support will be more than enough to take all of this down. As we see, fourth base gets knocked over again, and I mean, Mana is absolutely handcuffed. Yeah, I mean, that attack is kind of what broke the camel's back. There's no chance for Mana to really get back into this at all. As much as he would love to, as much as he would want to, just too many Broodlords, too many units, and too much Zerg. So, I mean, we're just kind of waiting for him to most likely figure out what in the world is going on and how all that happened, but he should be GGing out momentarily, and we'll be moving on to our third set today, which is going to be Strelok and Mana, a TVP. First game that is going to be on Lost Temple, so be sure to check that out. Don't go anywhere after this game does finish up. Additional Ultras and Lings are getting scurried across the map, and I mean, at this point, Mana's just kind of sticking around, waiting for all of his tech, and just kind of wearing. I mean, it's kind of pointless, but wearing out Lowly, but keeping him in the game for a second. I mean, I don't know how much of a wear out an A move is, but nothing you could do. And there's the GG from Mana. Game number 3 getting taken down by Lowly in a complete shutout posed by Lowly. 3-0 on Mana. 6-2 on the day. So Lowly walking out of his group 2-0 with a big set lead. All right, ladies.